Okay, hello everyone and welcome to something very different on the channel and very different to any kind of content I have ever produced before. We're doing a cooking video and today we're cooking food from Fallout, the game or TV series. Fallout themed and Fallout inspired, we are actually making Wasteland meals or an adaptation of Wasteland meals. And if you don't know Fallout lore, basically the world ended in nuclear war, everything is irradiated, and somehow the food still exists. So if this goes wrong today, just remember, this is technically authentic. First up, we've got Emily preparing what we're officially calling Deathclaw meat. These are going to be some Deathclaw chunks. So she's getting the spices, herbs, this, that and the other, all the seasonings basically all ready. I'll make sure that I leave these in the either description or in a comment down below for anyone interested in trying out this recipe. I don't know why you would be, but if you fancy it, give it a go. There's dog meat walking in the background as well, aka Luna. Tell you what, Luna would give dog meat a run for his money. So, in Fallout, Deathclaws are one of the most dangerous creatures in the entire wasteland. They were actually pre-war military experiments designed as biological weapons, which escaped, mutated, and now basically hunt anything that breathes. So naturally, we're eating them. Emily's cutting up 2 strips of pork belly for this, trimming off some fat, getting them into chunks, and seasoning them with salt, pepper, paprika, ginger, a bunch of other stuff we definitely didn't forget the names of. If you want the exact recipe, I found out what she actually put in and dropped that in the description or in a comment, like I said. Because right now, we're just trusting the Wasteland chef. And dog meat's found a friend, look. We got Luna and Bella in the corner there. Dog meat, by the way, is the name of the dog in Fallout. Now, for your Deathclaw, you could do Deathclaw steaks and get like a nice T-bone or just any kind of like meat on the bone, I think, would give it a more Deathclaw-y sort of look to it. I don't know, the butchers down the road from us just had these really nice looking pork belly pieces and I really wanted to try them, so it was any excuse for me. And look at that, some macaroni bubbling away as we get onto our next dish. Alright, into the pan, there you go, listen to that sizzle. That is the sound of a legendary item being crafted right there by Emily. Fun fact, in Fallout, Deathclaw meat is actually considered high-tiered food, which basically means it just restores a load of health and gives you very strong buffs. Which makes sense, because if you manage to kill a Deathclaw, you certainly deserve a reward from it. I do believe at this point Emily added some soy as well, or that's coming up next in a bit anyway. While our Deathclaw chunks cook, I'm starting on the BlamCo Mac Cheese. Now, BlamCo is a pre-war food company in Fallout known for making heavily processed meals that somehow survive over 200 years after a nuclear war. Fresh fruit, gone. Vegetables, rare. Processed cheese powder, still thriving. Which is honestly impressive. So, first things first, macaroni in the pot, nice and simple start. Back to the Deathclaw meat though, that is now cooking beautifully. There is terrifying Fallout fact. Deathclaws are so strong in the game that if you see one early on, you don't fight it, you run immediately. Preferably in the opposite direction. And then go all of those lovely, lovely seasonings and spices and yeah, all together just, you can almost like taste the flavour. It's weird. Yes, it was absolutely, honestly, like, I love this kind. I forgot a key ingredient, guys. We put golden syrup in as well. Yum. Just to sweeten it up a little bit. You got all those like nice little spices contrasting, but that syrup just brings them all together. And garlic paste as well. It's all coming back to me. Kim is remembering what is going in this pan. It'd be fun to actually do a Nuka Cola recipe. Maybe we could have got like some Coca-Cola or Coke. or Nuka Cola itself maybe, and pop that in with a meat and do a recipe with that. If you want to see that at some point, let me know in the comments section down below, guys. Sizzling away beautifully, and I'm gonna give that macaroni a stir. So it's time to start on the cheesy bit, which with the BlamCo I imagine it'd just all be in one and you just whack it in a pan, but I'm gonna get myself a second pan here. The macaroni is still boiling away, and I am going to make a start on that cheese sauce, which I have to say, we've been cooking a lot since we moved house, and I have perfected a homemade Stilton sauce. I have to, you know, I've got to give myself the credit where it's due. I have managed to perfect a Stilton sauce which goes lovely on top of a steak, honestly. So maybe I'll show you guys that at some point, but we're not doing Stilton sauce today. We need a nice thick cheesiness for our macaroni to go into. Literally, guys, one of the most easiest things I think I've ever done is making macaroni cheese from scratch. Melt your butter in the pan, then goes some milk, then goes some flour. Honestly, just vibe it until you get the right feel for it. It gave me measurements for the recipe online, and I didn't listen. I just wangled it all together. And doing taste tests and, like, you know, getting a feel of the consistency honestly tells you what you need, and it's all personal preference as well. If you want a thinner sauce, don't add as much flour. If you want a thicker sauce, then obviously, yeah, thicken it up with more flour. You can use milk to water it down. There's loads of other ways about it. If you want more cheese, stronger cheese, use whatever cheese you want. I used mozzarella and cheddar, and I think next time I'm going to use a red Leicester as well, because I think that would absolutely slap. But keep stirring until it thickens. This is basically the crafting phase of the recipe. Now, the most important ingredient, of course, is that cheese, and as soon as you pop that in, you just feel it thickening up there. You see, you've just got the milk with the butter and the flour just going around and around, and it's very runny, and I'm thinking, where's this thickness going to come from? Forgetting that I'm going to be melting an absolute ton of cheese, and I did. But oh yeah, if you like your cheese. So I finished off a bit of that bag there. I think that was just mozzarella, and that's just been from what's been left in, like, when the rest of us have been cooking and stuff. Just what's been left in the house. So yeah, whack that in. And then we bought a bag of grated mozzarella and grated cheddar mixed in together, and I just put the entire bag of that in. For me, I could have gone more cheesy. I think I'd have done half a bag of red Leicester as well. That would, maybe even half a bag of the grated mozzarella and cheddar, and then the rest of the I don't even know why. Please, can somebody explain to me why I put the bit in first, thinking that I wasn't just going to put the whole pack of that in. Look at all that cheese go, guys. Oh my god. Instantly feeling it thicken up already. Like, I was worried to begin with when I just got the milk and flour with the butter in the pan. I was worried. I thought I've ruined it. I've absolutely ruined it. But look at that. Soon thickens up. It soon melted as well, which really impressed me. I'm not gonna lie. But with that doing its thing, now there we go. That's what we call the cheese sauce. Hello. It was time to add the macaroni into that. There we go. That combined moment. Once it thickens up nicely, macaroni goes straight in. And that right there is pre-war luxury dining, if you ask me. In Fallout, food like this would probably be traded for ammo, weapons, maybe even a small house, you know. And then we're not forgetting one of my favourite things from the game, actually. One of my favourite bits of snacking from the game is Iguana on a stick, last but not least, which is one of the most famous foods in Fallout. But here's the slightly disturbing part. There's a long-running theory in the games that Iguana on the stick isn't actually iguana at all. Now, some NPC dialogue suggests it might be human. So, yeah, ours is chicken anyway, peri-peri chicken, to be exact. The peri skewers that we got, pop them into the pan, because we're both quite fussy about chicken, we did actually finish them off in the air fryer. There we go, we can see the final result, all there, all pieced nicely together. What a concoction of a tea, by the way, absolutely banging, but come on. I did add some paprika into the mac and cheese as well to try and give it a more radioactive look. I probably, again, could have gone with a bit more because I still think it looked a little bit bland. There is our Nuka Cola Quantum, and there is our Scran. Absolutely devoured, guys. 10 out of 10, would have again. Time for a quick recap. I know a lot of settlers in Fallout that would absolutely, most probably literally give an arm and a leg to have this meal, in all honesty. So we've got the BlamCo Mac and Cheese, which was basically just a homemade mac and cheese recipe. The Iguana on a stick, which was definitely chicken, peri chicken skewers. Already done, bought from a local butcher's, but you can do them yourself quite easily as well. And the legendary Deathclaw chunks, of course, as well. And don't forget that Quantum Blue Nuka Cola, which in Fallout lore actually contains radioactive material. So technically, drinking it exposes you to radiation, but it also gives you energy. So, balanced diet and all that. And honestly, moment of truth, if this tastes good, the Wasteland might actually be survivable. If it doesn't, we're going to blame Vault-Tec. Because honestly, in Fallout lore, they're responsible for most of the problems anyway. But I can confirm with an empty plate that you can see at the end there, and I did absolutely devour that iguana on the stick, aka the chicken skewer. It was actually quite a decent meal. Bland in some places. I think the mac and cheese for me could have been a bit stronger, but that's personal preference. I like a cheesy mac and cheese. Emily absolutely perfected that pork belly. I think it was beautiful. The contrast of it, it all went together so nicely. And the skewers kind of were pre-done anyway. They were already pre-seasoned, but they were also pretty good. So I would give the Fallout food an overall rating of a 7.5 out of 10. And that's being a little bit harsh. It's the only thing that knocks it down, I think, is just a little bit of blandness. But honestly, if you ask me, for a first cooking video on the channel, surviving a Deathclaw meat feels like a win. If you want more gaming food episodes, drop a game in the comments and I'll look whatever cursed meal exists in that universe, because apparently that's what we're doing on this channel now. And again, a big thank you to everybody for watching the video. I hope you all did enjoy it. I did actually forget to add that the Nuka Cola was really good tasting. It tasted like the cheap pop that you got as a kid, but in the best possible sort of nostalgic way. And I, for one, am very much looking forward to hearing what you guys want to see us do next. So don't forget to hit a like, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.